You're listening to a series about a quiet failure mode in modern AI. Not hallucinations, not obvious errors, but what happens when an AI sounds reasonable and still gets the argument wrong. Each episode examines how alignment, safety, and norm prediction shape AI behavior, and why those design choices matter for truth, pluralism, and legitimate restraint. In the previous episode, I talked about a failure mode where AI sounds reasonable while quietly refusing to answer a precise question. Today, I want to look at what's underneath that behavior. Because once you see it clearly, it's not really about safety. It's about power. Large language models don't just predict words. They predict what response will be socially acceptable in a given context. That means they're constantly making judgments about what is normal, what is deviant, what is sensitive, what should be softened, avoided, or reframed. This is what I mean by norm prediction. And it's important to be clear. This is not the same thing as truth prediction. Facts can be checked against reality. Norms can't. They vary by culture, time, community, political context. And they're often contested. There's no single stable social consensus that can be measured the way the temperature or distance can. Yet AI systems routinely act as if such a consensus exists, and as if they know what it is. That should immediately raise a red flag. When a model decides that answering a question directly would be norm violation, something important has already happened. Someone, or some group, has decided which norms matter, which norms override truth, and which risks are worth avoiding. Those decisions are not neutral. They are design choices, and the people affected by them never consented. In ordinary human interaction, norm enforcement is local. It's constrained by disagreement, social feedback, and the ability to push back. But AI systems operate at scale. They deliver the same norm judgments to millions of people instantly with no friction. That means norm prediction becomes norm amplification. And over time, amplification becomes norm shaping. This is often justified under the banner of safety. But safety from what exactly? In the earlier example, the supposed risk was discomfort, not harm. Discomfort is part of living in a pluralistic society. If avoiding discomfort becomes the overriding principle, then truth will always lose. And when truth loses systematically, what you're left with is not safety. It's control. If a system prioritizes norm prediction over factual precision, then users can never be sure what they're getting. Are they being told what is true, what is popular, or what is safe for the model to say? The system doesn't label the difference, so the user has no way to tell. That's not a small problem. It's a foundational one. And here's the core issue. When developers encode norms into AI systems, they are exercising power over discourse. But unlike governments, they are not elected, are not accountable to the public, and cannot be challenged through democratic means. Yet their systems increasingly mediate how people ask questions, receive explanations, and understand the world. Well, that's an extraordinary concentration of influence. A more trustworthy system wouldn't pretend to know what society believes. It would answer questions directly, distinguish facts from norms explicitly, and allow users to encounter disagreement. Not everything needs to be smoothed over. Not every question needs to be reframed. Sometimes the correct response is simply to answer. Norm prediction feels harmless because it's quiet. But quiet power is still power. And when it operates invisibly, without consent, without accountability, and without clear boundaries, it deserves scrutiny. Not because AI is malicious, but because good intentions don't cancel out structural effects. That's the problem with norm prediction at scale. If an AI system sounds careful, that doesn't mean it's being precise. If an AI system sounds reasonable, that doesn't mean it's engaging with the question you asked. Alignment is not just a technical problem. It's a question about authority. Thank you for listening.